Well, hello, and welcome to the season finale of Wind Down Wednesday with my Lady of the Week. Ladies, can you all believe it has been 16 weeks that I have introduced you all to some amazing, phenomenal, and inspirational women. I hope you guys are tapping into the community that we are building at HeyLadyByTanya.com. Please go over there after this evening's live and read all of the impressive resumes. All right, guys, so this evening's live is titled Collaboration Over Competition. I'm going to say it one more time. Collaboration over competition. But before we get into that, you guys know I must always give my shout out. So I want to say Happy Pride Month. First of all, to my makeup artist, Mr. Alex at MUA Alex with 2 X's. Look at this face, y'all. Ooh, this purple is everything. And I also want to shout out to my other makeup artist in the ATL, Mr. Tony_Styles. Both of you, I love you guys so much, to the moon and back. You guys whipped this face into shape, and I just want to say thank you and let you guys both know that I love you, love you, love you so much. I also want to give a shout out to my hairstylist, Miss Lanny B, the stylist, because you guys, I did a little color up there on top. I don't know if you can see it, but we went a little lighter for the summer. All right. Let's get back to this evening's live. My Lady of the Week. She is a speaker. She's an entrepreneur. She's a coach. And she's also the founder of Powerology. I'm going to let her tell you guys all about that when she comes into the wine room. But you know the drill because you've been here before. So let's make sure we raise our glasses and toast. Clink, 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 clink. You guys make sure you take a sip, because I always say if you don't take a sip, then it didn't happen. So let me go on and take a sip. Oh, that's good. Hey, all right, let's see who's here real quick. Hey, Charlene. Hey, lady. Charlene is always here, guys. Girl, I love you so much. You were just like the BFF, the virtual BFF that I need. So, hey, Charlene, toast to you. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Alex. Yes, grand finale, baby. And you whipped this face. Woo, look at this. I'm loving this. You know I'm asleep in my makeup tonight. So anyway, don't judge, y'all. Don't judge. Let's see who else is here. K Dabby 9701. Hello. Oh, my mother is here. Hello, mother. How are you? Guys, go follow my mom. Go show her some love at imani.richardson.792. Go check my mama out, y'all. Let's see who else is here. Hey, R. Braxton 3. Oh, that's family, honey. That's my uncle. Hey, Robert. Hey, J. Brown 1017. You asked me if I knew any French. Just a little bit, and I will not embarrass myself on this live trying to pronounce those words. So we'll have a little lesson a little later on. But hi, everyone. Okay, so we're just waiting for my Lady of the Week to press her button to come on into the wine room. Oh, she's here. I do see her. Hey, Tracy at Nessie 1028. Hey, lady. All right, guys, so my Lady of the Week is here. Give her a few seconds to join us, and we will bring Miss Aisha Nikole into the wine room. And you guys, make sure you go follow her when we're done at Aisha_Nikole, and that's Nikole. Sorry, give me a second, guys, and I'll bring her on in. But how's everybody's Wednesday? Can you all believe it is June 1st? Like how? Like when? Like why? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to bring her into the wine room. This care for anybody that is waiting to get your life together. So you better get it together. Whoop, there she is. Hello, Aisha.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Can you see me?
I can. Can you see me?
I sure can. We are good to go. Well, welcome to the wine room.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So before we get started, I hope you got your libation so we can do a little toast here. Clink, clink. Make sure you take a sip. You got to take a sip.
Okay.
Because I say if you don't take a sip, then it didn't happen. So we can't let good wine go to waste. So. All right. So real quick, I was giving an audience just a brief introduction. So if you could, would you please tell everyone who you are and where you're from?
I am Aisha Nikole, and I'm just a straight up and down Cali girl. Born in Chicago, raised in California, Central Valley, now living here in LA.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. And yes, you have your Cali glow going on too. So, and I love it. All right. So I was telling everyone that this evening's live is called Collaboration Over Competition. And so Aisha and I were having a talk a few days ago, and we were talking about how women, it seems that we are kind of always pitted against each other. And so I want to ask you, where do you think initially that competition starts?
Ooh, I feel personally, any type of competition starts with the woman with her insecurity. I'm a firm believer that insecurities cause the most drama. Second to insecurities will be communication issues, but definitely our insecurities this environment for us to feel jealous or envious of one another, and that's where the competition comes into play.
Okay. And I'm thinking, just you think about just as early on as being in like kindergarten or somewhere. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know why we're pitted against each other in that way, and the competition starts from, oh, her hair is longer, or she's prettier, or whatever, a myriad of things. So you hit on something as far as insecurities. And so I know that a lot of us, we all have different insecurities for whatever reasons, right? So as a coach, what are some things you feel like a woman should be asking herself when those feelings start to arise?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think we all have insecurities, like you said. Just there's no escape from that. But I think it's important that we check where those feelings are coming from, right? Because they're obviously, again, coming from an insecure place within ourselves. So the first thing I would ask myself is like, what brings me anxiety? Right? Or anxiousness? Because an anxiousness is only coming from one or two places. It's coming from a lack of, which may be an insecurity, or a lack without, which may be fear of, fear of the unknown or fear of not having. So I would first ask myself, like, okay, what makes me anxious? Like for me personally, what makes me anxious as a woman is maybe feeling like not having security, right? I'm a person that I kind of want to see things in front of me sometimes, and that's not the reality of life. You mean plan for things, but maybe if I see someone who is hopping on a yacht every Sunday, or they're just free, and my thing is security, and I'm like, dang, I wish I could just go hop on a yacht, but I got bills or I have to do that, then that's my own insecurity, right? That's the thing that makes me anxious. So I have to sit with that feeling and figure out a plan to escape that feeling for myself. So I will start with what brings you anxiety, because that leads to your insecurity or your fear. And the second thing I would say is, what are you telling yourself? How much negative self-talk are you doing with yourself?
That friend in your head sometimes is not your friend.
So how often are you speaking life into yourself? Sometimes we create our own insecurities. We create our own fears. We create our own anxiety. So what are you telling yourselves? And the third one would be, how affected are you by other people's opinions?
Oh, girl, say that again.
It's a trap where people are there for what people think of them. So those are three things that I would really sit with if I'm feeling insecure, if I'm feeling jealous. Because the thing with insecurity leads to, so it starts with insecurity. You feel insecure about yourself, what you have, what you don't have, what you lack. And then that you see someone else that possesses that quality or those things in them, and then it creates what? Jealousy. Right? And so now you're jealous of what this person has, and you start obsessing over that, and that creates what? Envy. And that is a dangerous place. And that's where that competition comes from. Because now I'm not jealous of you. I envy you. I want to be you. I want to compete with you. And that is a problem that I think a lot of women have. I don't know about men. I can't speak for men. They seem to have a lot more camaraderie against
Right.
themselves because most of them are just I think men are just more secure with themselves. They really don't care.
So real quick, let me just recap what she said. She said anxiousness, right? When it comes to the insecurity, what are you anxious about, right? The second thing you said was the lack. What do you feel like you're lacking? Or what is the story that you're telling yourself in your head? You know, how are you speaking? Are you speaking life into yourself? And then your last point was how do you go about, I'm sorry, say it again.
People's opinions.
People's opinions. You know, why does it matter so much how other people feel about you? And then you said, then that will all go into the jealousy and the envy, which often leads to that competition. So in that vein, because you did talk about seeing what other people have. You might see the girl that's on the yacht every weekend, and you're like, well, damn, I can't do that, right? So I already know the answer to this, but I knew what you're going to say. So how big of a role does now social media play in that? Because it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not. Ooh, social media is like a gift and a curse all in one for business purposes. And it all depends on what you're feeding into social media, right? So I don't follow a whole bunch of accounts. I'm not a scroller, I'm a poster. I'm not a scroller. So it's funny because I could go to lunch with a girlfriend and be like, did you see my story, girl? Did you? And I'd be like, no, I didn't. So tell me what happened. Not that I you and I don't care. It's just that I have to monitor how much I'm taking in. You know what I mean? So I'm a poster, I'm a scroller. But for business, it's good to engage. You have to look at it as a tool to be able to connect and touch with people you may not ever be able to see in real life. Right. So that's the positive aspect of it. But then the negative aspect of it is perception is not reality, and that's what social media, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Out their best. It's so weird because it's a lot of lifestyle brands that are creating lifestyles they don't even live.
Aisha. So it's so true. It's a highlight reel. That's what I tell everybody.
Big ass thing that's not even reality. Right. Right? Because perception is not reality, but perception sells. Because that's what people want to see. Right. Because that's just the society we live in. But then you have all of these people trying to attain a false reality. Right. That's the dangerous part of social media. Right.
And so you on the outside looking in and you see in this person what appears to be this fabulous life, but you don't know the story behind the story. Absolutely. Is what I always say. You know what I mean? So they say, what do they say? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Right. You really do have to do that as it pertains to social media. So in that vein, so they say comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
Can you talk about that and how that really does, when you start to do that, steal your joy?
I believe it is. I believe that comparison cripples you. And it also becomes very visceral because you start to take it in and then you stop your own momentum. You stop your own growth. You start to minimize yourself and you exacerbate everybody else's blessing. And sometimes it's like we see other people's winning seasons, right? But we don't know what it looked like when they're losing.
Yes. Yes. Please say that again. We see people's
winning seasons. And we never acknowledge what they may have lost in their losing season, right? Because life is all about this. It's all about waves and cycles.
Ebbs and flows, yes.
You have it. I've had it. I've lost it. And you get it back. It's just life. And so if you start to compare yourself to where someone else is on their journey, you really miss out in your own journey. You miss out on the lessons that were meant for you that you lost because you're so focused on comparing yourself to somebody else's story, to somebody's journey. So yes, I believe that comparison definitely.
Right. So as we try to move to a space where we can really get women to collaborate, because for men, as you mentioned earlier, men, they'll go play a pickup game of basketball, they'll
Right.
go golf. They've got something that brings them together in that space. But as women, we really don't have that. And I know that one of the things that you do through your Power 25 initiative is to bring women together in that vein. So can you tell us about that?
It's funny. I think when you and I had talked, I was telling you, it's like once you reach a certain age, it's like, okay, it's not like when you were a little kid, you're standing in line at the ice cream shop and you order Rocky Road and the girl next to you orders Rocky. Oh, I like
Oh, you want to rock and roll?
and it's
Right.
like, you want to play with me? Let's do a play date. It's not like that as adults. You know what I mean? Because once we reach a certain age,
There you go.
can you hear me?
Now I can. Yep. You said once you reach a certain age.
We have our walls up because of our experiences. So it's important to find groups or organizations kind of like the one at Power 25 was all about bringing like-minded women together, people who were interested in building sisterhood with others. So the intention was, I'm coming here to meet sisters, I'm coming here to support women. So finding spaces like that, I believe, are valuable and important for women, because I really don't know, unless you meet someone through a mutual friend or things like that. It's kind of difficult to people, especially women, because we're not always as approachable. Some of,
Right. Hello.
because depending on where we are socially in life, sometimes people are more guarded because of bad motives or opportunists or so I think finding organizations, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think women empowerment is going anywhere, because women thrive with other women.
Absolutely.
Sisterhood is very important. So those are important. Actually, one of my best friends, I had stopped doing Power 25 when the came, and she had her own tour going on, so we decided to partner to do something to celebrate all women.
Beautiful.
And the power is in collaboration.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, there's a study that was done by Forbes that said when women work together with other women, we just, the sky is the limit.
Right.
And I think that if more of us could really, understand the power that we have in each other and being able to celebrate and uplift each other instead of feeling like we have to compete with one another, we could just accomplish, so much more. And I even think what I love about what you said and what you're doing, it's not a networking event, because typically at a networking event, you pass out a card, you say hello, and you keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? What you are doing is really building the relationship with the women, of like-minded women.
Absolutely. It's the connection, but furthermore, it's the reciprocation. I'm big on
reciprocity. Yes.
I'm huge on it. So, I believe that blessings come to you when you give and vice versa. And I don't know what study you read, but I also have read one, and I talked about it at my Power 25 dinners. There was a study done by 20 women who had cancer. 10 of the women did not have a solid support system. They didn't have a circle of sisters, good girlfriends around them. And the other 10 women did. So the 10 that did not, their cancer metastasized faster. Some of them got really sick and passed away, while the other ones had more of a healing process because of their sisters and because of the women around them. So that is so powerful, and it just goes to show you like what we keep to one another really helps nourish.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Part of what I love about my brand and for Hey Lady is that I am really invested in you know, helping women to live their best lives, whatever that looks like to you. You know what I mean? Because it's different for all of us. And that's why I love about what you're doing as well. But you also do it from a space of like that inner, you know what I mean? Getting to the core, doing the inner work. So how important is that for you as you're coaching your clients to really make sure that they're being maybe self-aware and more introspective and not kind of pointing the blame and putting that off on everyone else?
Yeah, for sure. Like self-mastery is massive. Like it's the most important tool you could have, because if you have a brand, you have a business, you're in a relationship, or whatever the case may be, if you haven't mastered yourself, you're always going to come back to the drawing board, or you're going to fail whatever you're doing, because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you like. You don't know what your weaknesses are. You don't know what your strengths are. You don't even know how to be authentic. If you don't master self first, everything you do in life is not going to be as fruitful or as prosperous as it can.
Absolutely. Okay, who child, that's a word. So real quick, before I move on, I want to just go to the audience real quick, because Sonny, we got some comments in here, and I want to make sure that if anybody has any questions or anything, that they're getting a knowledge. Okay, the fly, okay, I don't know how to say this. The flyest MFR, you know, oh, yeah, the flyest MFR, you know. She says, I'm listening in, but I couldn't help the fact that, oh, you are gorgeous, both gorgeous Nubians, and are, with all due respect, of course. Well, thank you. We appreciate the compliments. And you know what? That's huge. And I'm glad that I did stop on that, because I find also, and maybe you can back me up on this, that women do have a hard time complimenting other women.
Yeah, very true.
So what is that about? What do you think that's about?
I mean, again, it goes back to insecurity, right? Like, I want to be tall. Girl, I'm 5'3". Like,
right.
Genetically, I'm never going to be tall. So it makes no sense for me to envy someone who is 5'10" or 5'11". I'm going to admire you. I'm like, girl, I wish I had them legs, because, you know, you have to be comfortable with who you are and love the good things and the bad things about yourself, honestly.
Absolutely.
And I surround myself by nothing but pretty women, like beautiful women that's doing their thing, and like it makes me feel good because we up each other. There's no one, we're not going to allow each other to slack. And if we're having a bad day, we're not going to allow each other to have a bad day. We're always going to speak, you know, positive and well into somebody else. Girl, you look good too. Like, for me, that's normal. So I don't understand. I can't mindset around women who aren't like that, other than they feel insecure within themselves.
Right. Yeah, I challenge every woman that's listening to this live to walk up to another woman and just pay her a compliment.
Yeah.
It's not going to take away your light. It won't take away the shine on you. I say there's enough sunlight for all of us. Right. But if you ever really want to feel empowered, take the time. You see somebody that you admire, walk up to that person and let them know. You never know what impact you'll have on them and what it will do for you in return. So challenge yourself to do that. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was, and it's so trivial, but it meant everything to this woman, and I was not, like, it was pure. I wasn't thinking. It was just what I saw. It was genuine. So I'm on a plane flying back to LA, and I'm sitting next to a woman, and I was like, oh my goodness, you have beautiful eyelashes. Like, your eyes are so pretty. First of all, I got on eyelash. I put on eyelashes, but I don't really have long eyelashes.
Right. So, girl, I got mine on, so.
Oh my God, your eyelashes are so pretty. And she was like, thank you. And then she just starts sobbing. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Are you okay? Like, you know, I thought something happened. She was like, you know what? No one ever compliments me.
Wow.
And I was
like, Aisha.
Wow. All I would say, her eyelashes were beautiful, you know?
Wow.
Just like, wow, this is a real thing. Like, people are not being mindful of or appreciative of other people. You know what I mean? We're just all kind of moving so fast and worried about ourselves. We kind of don't take time. And when we say see the flowers, like, see the flowers of other human beings.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I walk into a restaurant, a party, whatever. Like, I for me, just like, I don't know any other way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna withhold the compliment. It does nothing. You know what I mean?
Right,
If I see a beautiful woman or I admire someone, I want to know, because I'm like, well, I want to know, how did you get that, and what are you doing to maintain that, whatever that is. So, kindness just goes a long way. And to your point, and you never know whose day you can make by just a simple gesture of, a compliment. So, again, try it, y'all. Try it. Okay. So I told them as we were coming into this live that not only are you a coach, you're also a speaker, and you're also an entrepreneur. So I want to talk about your entrepreneur endeavors. So I want to talk about your lifestyle brand. So can you tell us all about your Aisha Nikole lifestyle brand, please?
Yeah. So actually that kind of just happened. Something I always wanted to do. Like friends and family would always tell me, you should open a boutique. You have great style. You should be a stylist. You should do this. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even like shopping. I mean, like, I could put stuff together, but I'm not, like, it gives me anxiety. I'm just not that girl.
Right.
But I love nice things. Like, my husband will shop for me probably before I was. But it was the pandemic. I had my powerology in a school system. And so I developed a curriculum. I was able to pitch it to a nonprofit organization. And I was able to get it into a school district in Northern California.
Wow.
When the pandemic happened, my contract was the first to go because I'm not a licensed teacher.
Right.
So I was like, oh my goodness, the school closed. They took away the contracts. And I'm like, okay, now I have time to step out on faith and kind of do something different, do something that I've always wanted to do. And so the first thing I wanted to launch, set me apart in my lifestyle luxury brand, was to create a fragrance, because I love perfume. And since I had all of this time to play around, I just dove right into that. And I was like, I'm gonna launch a perfume brand. And I remember going to an investor at the time. Hey, I want to launch a luxury business plan. This is what I do. And they were like, oh, everything looks amazing, but you're not Kim Kardashian. You're not Rihanna. There was like only people with big names are able to really. And I was like, okay, yeah, I got you. Keep your money. I'm gonna invest in myself.
Oh, I love it. Always bet on yourself. Absolutely.
Yes. So I started with that first product. And then my vision, I would say my muse, is Nicole Miller from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
forever.
She branded herself, know. And I was like, well, she's a Black Nicole Miller.
I love it. I love it. And she's been around forever.
Ever. You hear me?
She done outlasted a lot of people that have come and gone, and she's been around forever.
And my thing was to make luxury a part of our culture for women of color, because we didn't grow up with believing that luxury was for us.
Right.
And especially with my ethnic name, I wanted to do it for the culture. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to use my name in a luxury space for the culture, for women.
Okay, real quick, because I want to tap on something you said. And I think this is what prevents a lot of people from taking that leap of faith, because you said, you're not the Kim Kardashian or the Rihanna. And so you enter into a heavily competitive space, right? But what was it that really said to you, you know what, I'm going to take this leap of faith and go for it?
Yeah, seriously. I was like in a grocery store, and I was walking down the bread aisle, and I literally just stopped, and I just see all of these different breads, all of these different brands, and it is all up to personal choice. It's all up to what we want. You know what I mean? So somebody, may not be everybody, but who's for me and who I'm supposed to reach, they'll get on. It's a click. You know what I mean? But the most important about having a brand, period, in general, is like, you have to first build your personal brand. Because people don't buy products just because, right? People buy from people they like, and people buy from people they trust.
Absolutely.
So you have to build your personal brand. You have to tell your personal story. You have to put your face at the forefront of your brand. Because if you're not branding, you're blending.
Absolutely.
And you become just like all of the other companies. So for me, that was the deciding factors. Like, why not? There's 100 of everything else in the world. Why not me?
Absolutely.
Why not me?
Yeah. I say there are two things that you definitely need as you're building a brand. You need the, like you said, your personal story.
Right.
You know, you need to fill a need. You know,
Absolutely.
what is the need that you're filling? You know, and what is it that you're hoping that the consumer gets from, you know, from you, from your story, something that they can identify with, you know,
Right.
because you got to pull at the heartstrings sometimes, you know,
Yes.
as you're doing this. So I think it's fantastic. So do you have a mentor? Do you think it's important to have a mentor as you start to develop, or as you started to develop your brand? Did you reach out to someone else for their advice?
Child, I'm not the best person to ask this question. Uh, I I just have to be like 100% transparent, no fluff. I did have two mentors that I actually flew to another state. And it was like $25,000, both
Say that again.
$1,000 for a mastermind program to have this mentor. And it was not a great experience for me. And I could not understand why my mentor was competing with me.
Ooh, see, I'm glad you said this,
And I
because that's
like my
wow.
real experience. And I'm thinking, and that's when it became so real for me. It's like, why are people with less? No, I'm
Hmm.
less. You got more than me. I'm aspiring. I'm sewing into you and I'm invested in you to help me. I got less and you don't even want to see me win.
Damn.
Right? I
Yeah.
spent $5,000. I flew to Atlanta once a month on my own dollar. I got my own hotel room, only to have that person completely not help me progress at all.
Wow.
So then I turned around a few years later after I picked myself back up and invested in another woman who kind of more or less did the same thing. And that's just my personal experience.
So, okay, so let me ask you this, because obviously you reached out to these two women for some reason. So, did you see them help someone else, or was it, you know, because here's the thing with social media and a lot of this now, everybody's an expert,
Yeah.
right? Everybody an expert. And everybody has some class, some mastermind, some this, that, and the third. So, what initially was the thing that drew you towards them?
Yeah, that's definitely what it was. And I'm not going to say that what they were doing wasn't real, because it was. But again, perception is not always reality.
That
And
part.
they were definitely selling their mastermind, multi-level programs, which there was some value in it. There
Right.
was some value in it. But when you're getting pulled back from the person that's supposed to be helping you, it creates a different environment for the person that invested in you.
Yeah, I have a saying. I say that I do believe that there are a lot of people that want to see you win, but sometimes they just don't want to see you win more than they're winning.
Absolutely, girl, I believe it. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that comes from friends, that
Yeah,
comes from family. That's the whole gamut. You know what I'm saying? But again, you had the faith in yourself to pick yourself back up
right.
and start all over and still persevere. And so I think that's really the overall message, is that you can knock me down, but as long as
Yeah.
you don't knock me out,
And but
right?
two, also I blame myself because I now so I'm the type of person that's like, I'm so give you second chance, give you third chance, give you fourth chance, like loyal to a fault. But now I'm learning to really trust my own intuition. If I got a bad vibe from you, I'm not rocking with you, period.
Right.
If I get a bad vibe, I'm not doing it. But I used to make excuses for it. I
Mm-hmm.
would see it. And so with these women, the signs were all there.
Mm.
Oh, the signs were all there. I was like, no, but they did this, but they didn't mean that. But, and I would make excuses for their behavior in hopes that I was going to gain something from them, when I should have my intuition and been like, no, this person is not for me. Doesn't mean that someone else isn't, but this person
is not.
So I do believe in mentorship. I mean, I'm a coach, so I would only aspire and hope to continue to coach women. But if the energy isn't right, don't work with that person, because everybody is not for everybody, period. And sometimes, and I started to feel like, man, it's like, why I can't get ahead? And I think we spoke about this too, with women always saying, oh, women always hating on me. People always hating on me.
Girl.
I have to play devil's advocate in that, because yes, there are a lot of haters out there, for sure, for certain. It all goes back to what we talked about earlier, the insecurities,
Yep.
you know, the perception. So yes, there are a lot of haters out there, but what you exude is also what you attract.
That's absolutely.
And some we focus so much on the wrong energy. So why are you even giving that much energy to the people that are hating on you? You got to shift your energy to the people who actually love you, or find that core group support system who want to love you and who want to celebrate. That kind of goes back to what we discussed with, you know, finding a groups or organizations where you could build community and sisterhood.
Absolutely. They say go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. So
yes, love that.
Right? Okay,
yes.
So lastly, what would be your overall message as it relates to collaborating versus competing against one another? What's your message that you would like to leave to the audience?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even compete with myself. And I hear people say that all the time, like, I'm in competition with nobody but myself. Guess what? I'm not competing with this baby either. Like, I'm not competing with myself either. I'm not putting that pressure on myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to be kind to myself. Do I want to be better than yesterday? Absolutely. Do I aspire to have more? 100%. But I'm going to enjoy my journey. I'm going to take the L's with time. I'm not going to ridicule myself. I'm going to be kind, loving, and nurturing to me. So I'm not even competing with me. So I damn sure ain't going to compete with you or nobody else. So I would say, like, love yourself first. Truly and genuinely do your inner work. Do your self-work. Love you. So that way you don't feel the need to, the way you're being soft with yourself, you'll start being soft with other people. You'll be able to extend that grace with other people.
I love that.
And don't be guarded. You know what I mean? Like, I got burned twice. It did not shut me off from building relationships with other women. And it will just never shut me off, because that's just who I am genuinely. And I, like I said, trust your intuition, because I didn't trust mine. And unfortunately that happened. So self-love is the best thing to do for yourself.
I love it. Okay, so real quick, I have like 2 questions left, and I want to see if anybody in the audience had anything to say. Somebody said, I love her mind on Jesus sandals. I don't know, this is funny in here. Charlene said, she says, I always compliment women about their beauty, their fashion, etc. And yes, you do, Charlene, because when I tell you, girl, you give me the best self-esteem. Well, it's my self-esteem, but you are a self-esteem booster. She really is. We've never met, and she's just become like an Instagram friend, you know, and you're just so positive. So I thank you for your positivity. Let's see who else in that. Of course, Alex says she's all the above. You're all the above. You do all of that.
Thank you.
All right. So 2 questions, and then I'm going to let you out of here. Okay. So what is the best advice given to you, either personally or professionally?
Personally would be, we become what we imagine ourselves to be. And that is everything to do with our mindset. Absolutely, 100%. If you believe it, if you can imagine yourself there, you could get there, you could grasp it. If it exists in the world, it is not out of our reach. It's just not out. And in business, now this is something I did get from my bad experience. Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect.
You know, I believe that people procrastinate and wait till they have the perfect product, till they have the perfect
Always.
perfect brand, till they have the perfect book, till they have the perfect words. And you have to start somewhere. As you evolve, so will your friends, so will your business,
Yes.
your ideas.
Yes.
So start where you are, because let me tell you, my first book to me was not, it probably helped more women than my last book. But to me, the grammar in it, like, I was like, oh my God, like I was a baby writer back then in 2000.
Right. Right.
But if I never done it, I would have never been able to help who it was for at that time.
Ooh,
You know, you can always go back and revise something.
yes.
But done is better than perfect. Get it done, because it's not about you. It's about whatever you're putting out there for other people, because we are created to serve one another.
I love that. So to start, guys. Stop overthinking it. Stop thinking you got to be perfect in everything. The universe will conspire to bring the people and the things that you need to help you reach your goal, but it will not happen if you don't put a little work and you don't
Right.
get started. It's just not going to happen. Okay, last question. What's your favorite quote, or what's your mantra?
Lately, I don't, mine would have to be a Bible verse, and I can't think of the chapter, but it is a prayer, and it talks about how God will give you his daily bread. And my aunt always tells me, because as I said earlier, what brings me anxiety sometimes is security or not knowing. And I talked about this on my Instagram a few days ago. It's like, if you're always angry, you're probably living in the past. And if you're feeling anxiety or anxious, it's because you're living in the future. But your power is in the present. And so that quote
Aisha, I'm sorry, girl. You can wait. I don't say it again, please, because that is so powerful. Please say that again.
So I said, if you're living in fear or you're angry, if you're constantly like angry, you're probably living in the past, because you're thinking of things you wish you could have did better, or you wanted to do better, what you could fix. And if you're anxious, you're probably living in the future, fear of the unknown, worried about what's to come. But our power is in the present. And so that scripture to me is powerful, because it says God will give you your daily bread.
Daily bread.
We don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will have enough problems of its own. And even today, it's going to have stuff may arise that we didn't prepare for. But moment by moment, day by day, I'm really trying to live these days to feel peace.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
I
only
love that. Girl,
everything.
that's a word. That's
You know,
that's a word for me. Really, I received
oh
that
man,
because I am the way my brain works. I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always and it ain't even tomorrow, girl. I'm like 2 years from now. Stuff that
same,
I have no control over, right? And
right,
I am really trying to be intentional about being here, being
right,
present, like fully present in the
right.
moment of what's going on. So I received that word from you, and I'm so glad that you said that. Okay, so where can we find all things Aisha Nikole? What's your website? We want to support you. I want to get some of your perfume, because when I grew up, the only thing I had was some Gina Tay. So
Well, I believe in reciprocity. Thank you for sharing your platform. Thank you for sending me your beautiful shirt. So, girl, you already know I'll be sending you some perfume.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I want the audience to support, because that's what this is about. So please let them know where they can find your, everything about your brand.
Yes, AishaNikole.com.
There it is. And that's AishaNikole.com. Look,
Yep.
she said it. She wants to be the Nicole Miller. So the Black Nicole Miller. Yes, we're going to speak that into existence.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, girl. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank
I
you.
really sincerely appreciate you. And I just, before we leave, it's just so interesting because we've never met in the physical.
Right.
But because good people attract good people, when we talk about that energy, you know what I mean? I know you through Alex. Alex knows you through Newbie. You know what I mean? And just the circle of people, and why it's so good.
Exactly.
To treat people good.
Yes.
You know, and be kind and speak life. into one another. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to feature you as my Lady of the Week and to close out season 5 of Wine Down Wednesday. Before we go, let's make sure we drink some more of this wine. We will not let it go to waste. Clink, clink, clink. Audience too, please take a sip. Because if you don't take a sip, then it didn't happen, y'all. All right, y'all. This concludes this evening's live with my Lady of the Week, Miss Aisha Nikole. You guys, make sure you go follow her at Aisha_Nikole on Instagram. And make sure you guys go check her website out at AishaNikole.com.
Yep.
Aisha, I'm going to let you go. I won't take any more of your time. And I thank you once again for joining us this evening, okay?
Okay. Have a good evening, all of you.
All right. Bye, Aisha.
Bye.
So real quick, guys, before I let you go, again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in and indulging me in my Wind Down Wednesday Lady of the Week series. I will be back in the month of August because your girl is taking some time off and I'm leaving the country. When I tell y'all I'm out of here, I am out of here. I hope you guys have an incredible summer. Please get out and live, y'all, live. If COVID hasn't taught you anything, is that tomorrow is not promised, and everything that you all are putting off for another day, or you want to meet this person in order to do this thing, stop doing that. Love on yourselves, treat yourself, because if you don't know how to treat yourself, somebody that comes along won't know how to do it either. Again, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in over the last 16 weeks. Oh, Lord, it's been a long time. And allowing me to bring you all these amazing women. Please go over to my website and read their bios at heyladybytanya.com. But you guys know the drill. As always, being a lady never goes out of style. I'll see you guys back here in August. Thank you, guys. Bye. Ooh, I'm out of here. Ooh, I'm so cute. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. See y'all later. All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Charlie. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.